Hey everybody! I know that music's catchy, isn't it? Yeah, that tune was written just for me, so I get to use it whenever I want. I love it.
Ooh.
Yeah. Hey everybody! Thank you so much for joining our ASTE Community Connect live stream. I'm Melody, and I'm with our ASTE board president Anthony. It's great to
Hello.
see you, Anthony. How are you doing this morning?
I am doing good. It is a little cold here, but just drizzly. We had a lot of rain last night. It's interesting. It's the first thing I mentioned. Someone was talking about that last week in another meeting. They said every time we talk with Alaskan people, the conversation's always about weather. Always.
And I mean, rightfully so, because in the wintertime, life can be interrupted very quickly. I don't know if you've seen the news though, like winter weather is taking place across the entire country.
Yeah.
So people that aren't normally, used to all the blizzards and stuff are really facing extreme weather right now. So if you're in one of those states, we wish you the best and we wish you like a speedy warm up without a lot of ice for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Also, I'm just glad you guys are here. We have a couple of guests coming up, two new sponsors to our ASTE conference, and and I'm excited to bring them up with Sprig and Snorkl. And just I never like to pretend like the world isn't happening around us. And something I just wanted to say, without going into a lot of detail, is just that I think that more than ever, community is super important. And something that helped me to feel a little bit more positive this morning was just knowing that, we've been working really hard to create an ASTE community. And the people that fill up our ASTE community are amazing educators who care about their students. And it's a privilege to get to be, and we're going to see them very soon. In fact, we're 19 days away, guys.
19 days. Yeah.
Yes.
Over 2 weeks.
And we are in such a vast state. So getting to meet everybody and see everybody in person is so exciting. We're almost there. And we've got some amazing updates to share. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Anthony, I got to tell you, and this reminds me, this guy, he works so hard. I want to say that I appreciate all of the hard work that you've been putting into our conference and our community. Guys, like, there's some amazing conferences out there, huge conferences that thousands and thousands of people go to, and they're international or they're national conferences. And I hope that if you're watching, that someday, if you haven't gotten to go to one, you get to. But our conference is a lot smaller than that. And it's really cool because we get to focus on relationships, and everything that you do at our conference really matters and has a real impact. And like, we had an exhibitor who has an emergency with family emailed us this week and said, hey, I've got to get back home. Something is really important is happening on Monday, something that is like, I don't want to, share their personal information. But because we are a smaller conference, Anthony was able to move that session so that this person can fly home and be with their family in the time that they need to be with their family. And that's the kind of stuff that we get to do, and something I'm really proud about ASTE. But also, Anthony does a lot of the behind the scene work. So bravo. Thank you for doing all of it, Anthony.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're excited to say that we now offer continuing education credits through the Alaska Department of Education. This is in partnership with the CTE department at DEED. They've agreed to help us facilitate the issuance of the continuing education unit. That would be for documenting 15 hours of conference time, just really what sessions did you attend, brief, what did you gain from those sessions, submit that documentation. DEED will send you a certificate, and when you go to renew your initial teaching license, or rather, I think it's your professional teaching license, that you could use those CEUs for the credit required for that. So that's really exciting. And then we also offer a credit class through ASDN. Really excited to offer that again. And that offers a 1 credit or 2 credit class, which would be beneficial for those who are looking to advance their education or those who are looking to increase on the step of having that college credit. And that's a really successful class. And I believe the session for that is going to be on Saturday. All that information is in the app, which you could download from the Apple Store Just look for Cvent and search for ASTE 2026 once you have the Cvent app installed.
And we've been working on this. Like, this was a dream of ours since we started like last year together. And thank you so much for making this happen. The work that you do is incredible. This is such good news for our community and our conference. Yay!
Yeah.
Thank you, Anthony. You've been working tirelessly on that. And I apologize, I can't speak very well today. Something else that is exciting that is coming up this time next week, one of our sponsors, another new sponsor, EduMatch. We are doing an AI panel. We have two ASTE members, Anthony, who is responsible for creating the AI framework that DEED has now, that we use for our state of education. Anthony's going to be on this panel, and another board member, Jean, is going to be on this panel, and also Journée Armand, Brandy Wright, and it will be moderated by Dr. Sarah Thomas, the CEO and founder of EduMatch. So definitely tune in this time next Sunday, and this is going to be amazing. We definitely have questions that we're all going to be answering, but if you are joining us live, you can also ask questions. And it's going to be a little bit different. I think that you will be pleasantly surprised about the questions that we're asking this Sunday. All right. And can you tell us a little bit about the I Did a Contest deadline, Anthony?
Yeah, it's coming up really close. What is that? 6 more days until the deadline. If I did a contest, as always, people work really hard and they wait till the last minute to submit, but that's okay. We want you to submit. We're really grateful to our sponsor, Book Creator, for helping to make this happen. They are offering free pro account to any ASTE members, and you could find that information at ididacontest.org. Lots of different categories, and I've peeked at some of the submissions already, and they are amazing. So we're really excited to feature that. That'll be part of our I Did a Breakfast celebration, where we're going to celebrate these I Did a Contest submissions, give them cash prizes, cash in hand, and then we'll follow that up with our awards ceremony, where we further honor educators and students and IT professionals and others in the state helping make an impact in education. So ididacontest.org will get you to that link listed on there. Be sure to submit before the 31st. If you have any questions, you can reach out to ididacontest@asti.org.
All right. And we have changed it up quite a bit. So if you do have a question, don't put it off. Just ask us and we'll get it in there. We can't wait to see all of the submissions. And this year we're not doing the I Did a Night. We're doing an I Did a Breakfast, like Anthony said, and it's going to be pretty amazing. So we hope that you'll join us for that. All right. Next up is, a little something. All right. Our prom. All right. Do you want to talk about it, or do you want me to?
Go for it.
All right. Well, listen, our prom is coming up. It is sponsored by our diamond sponsor, GCI. And here's the thing. If you're not able, this is really basically to the local people, to local educators. If you're not able to join our full conference, or you're not able to come to our conference, but you really want to celebrate with us on Valentine's Day and our prom for educators, and I believe that it has, what is the theme, Anthony? The forest? Enchanted Forest.
Enchanted Forest. Yeah.
So if you want to celebrate with us, educators, all you have to do is go to our website, asti.org, and become a member. And once you're a member, and if you're going to bring a date, they have to become a member too. That $25 goes to our organization. We are a nonprofit, and believe me, it helps. So if you just want to come to prom, we will have food and drink there, and it's going to be a super fun night. Last year was a blast. We hope that as many educators who can will join us. All right.
Yeah, it'll be really quick. It'll be 5:30 to 8 o'clock. So if you make your reservations afterwards for your romantic dinner or something, or you want to have that before, you could come dance, have fun, and then continue out and have even more fun. And I think Graham might be having an event afterwards, the Alaska Escape Room. So it's going to be a fun night.
Yes, there will be after prom, and we will. We need to put a sign up for that for the Alaska Escape Room. It's going to be so much fun. That's the reason why, yes, we're a smaller conference, but we do so much, and we're able to do so much for our attendees and our members because we get things done, and the community really supports us. All right. Okay, now I am so excited. I'm going to bring Mark up. Mark is from Sprig Learning, and this is your first ASTE conference, correct? Am I
Yep.
correct, Mark? All right.
Yeah, this is our first time to ASTE for sure.
I'm so excited. I can't remember how you found us. Do you
Yeah,
remember?
I was actually just searching for some. We were kind of doing our yearly plan, looking for some conferences that were a good fit for us at Sprig Learning, and we focus on working with Indigenous communities across North America, but also working in the early literacy and math space. So it was a great fit for us. I personally have never been to Alaska before, so I'm super excited for that aspect of that as well. So it was just kind of luck of the draw, and also connecting with you, Melody. It's been great. We chatted a bunch before, and then we went ahead with things. So excited to be a sponsor and to be part of ASTE for this year.
Oh, I love that. I love it too. And it's funny because when Mark, I think when we first started emailing, I was going through a multicultural class myself to keep up with my teacher certification. So it was just so harmonious how it all worked out together. I loved it. And where are you hailing from, Mark? I know, but nobody, they might not know.
Yeah, so I live just outside of Ottawa. Our organization Sprig Learning is based in Ottawa, Canada. So a bit of a ways from you up in Anchorage, but definitely used to the cold as well here. So we're getting about 30 centimeters of snow today. So
wow,
lots of shoveling, and so probably not quite as cold here, but definitely used to the winter weather, and we'll be packing accordingly as I make my way up there to ASTE in a few weeks.
I love it that you won't be in too much of a shock, but no. That is that is cool. All right. Do you mind telling us a little bit about your session?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll share a bit about Sprig in general. I think too as well, to give kind of context for everything. And my role at Sprig Learning is the education success lead. So supporting teachers, supporting districts across North America to roll out our programs in terms of supporting with whether that's early literacy, math, or Indigenous programming. I myself, I'm a teacher. I've taught for many years in education. Actually, I've been involved in education for over 15 years in varying different capacities. I've taught students from K to 12. I have taught kindergarten as well for 2 years. So had that experience, as well as spent a number of years in grade 5. For me, education has always been something that's at my heart. My mother's a principal, so it was always kind of a part of my growing up. When I went to work in education, I actually went overseas. So I taught in South Korea. I taught at a Canadian international school in China. And then one thing that I'm really proud of is after finishing this, I had a 2-year contract in China. I decided I was going to ride my bicycle back home to Canada. For education. It took 2 years and 40 countries and over 35,000 kilometers. I think that's like 18,000 miles of cycling through 40 countries. And it was an amazing experience where I was able to connect with people around the world and raise $50,000 to help build sustainable schoolhouses along the way. So something that for me, education is always at my heart. And after finishing that bike ride, I started to speak about this trip around the world, and actually ended up putting out a book, and ended up doing a TEDx speech and all that stuff. So it's something that for me, literacy, technology, connecting with people, it's what brought me to Sprig Learning. It was such a great fit in that space. We are, in a space where we look to work holistically with educators, with districts, in order to help bridge that gap, move the needle, specifically with literacy, and that's what my session will be about.
Wait a minute, before we talk about your session,
okay,
you never told me all this stuff about you.
I think I shared it in my bio. Maybe you're like, okay, I'll look at that later. But no, for me, yeah, education is at that root. I also love to travel, adventure, obviously biking and things like that. I don't do as much cycling as I used to, but reading, education is a passion of mine, and something I think that we as an organization at Sprig Learning really we live and we breathe. This is something that we care about. Traveling from Ottawa to Alaska is going to be an amazing experience, but it is a journey. It's a new adventure and all that stuff. So I'm just lucky to be a part of a great organization as well.
Are you?
Yeah.
You're not riding your bike to Alaska, are you?
I'm not. That would take a little bit of time. I do know a number of people who have cycled through Alaska, but that's a different adventure, I think.
Yeah.
Wow. And so you really rode your bike. Like you didn't just do the mileage. You literally rode your bike.
Yeah, I started in China, and eventually found my way down to the bottom of Africa, South Africa, and took a plane from there to Argentina, and made my way back up I went through the United States, back through Canada. It was quite the adventure, and a real humbling experience. And I'll say, Melody, you were talking about all the stuff going on in the world and things like that. I think that bike ride kind of showed me how kind people truly are throughout the world. And what I really found was that equalizer was just simply saying hello to people, connecting and getting to know who they are on a human level. And that's what I think is most important right now too.
Agree. Wow. That is amazing. Okay. And I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. I just copy paste and I move on. Like you're right. But we'll have even more conversation. And so if people come to your session at ASTE, you're for sure going to share some about that as well, right?
Yeah, I'll share a little bit of that, in my intro and things. Some photos. I like to bring that stuff to life. But speaking about my session, the title of the session is Control Alt Read, kind of in the theme of ASTE 2026, but reimagining early literacy through culturally responsive innovation. So this is set to be an interactive session that looks into the relationship and that research around the impact of culturally relevant resources and programs on early literacy. So what essentially it will do, it will leave people with new resources, tools, opportunities that they can bring back, tangible things that you could bring back into the classroom. We will discuss the importance of early literacy, some of those persistent gaps that we keep seeing, and the need for that culturally responsive innovation, especially in a state like Alaska, which is so diverse. We will look to discuss a lot about, through our work and research. The goal is that all students will be able to master. There's over 200 plus skills and 220 high frequency words that students are supposed to be able to master by the end of grade 3. And our goal is to support with that culturally responsive innovation and implement that culturally relevant pedagogy into that classroom. So I'll showcase the science of, reading behind those early literacy skills and the benefits of aligning technology with evidence-based practices. And I hope to see you at my session, February 15th. It's on the Sunday at 10:50 a.m. So if you can make it, awesome. But if you cannot make it, I understand that. We also have a booth at ASTE, booth number 12. So come check out booth number 12. You can't miss us. We have some wonderful, lovable characters that kind of go along. So it's definitely eye-catching, and for that kind of K-3, K-5 space, all of our programming fits in that bucket.
Well, Mark, I'm super excited to come to your session, and I'm going to make it a point. I'm going to be running around like a chicken with my head cut off for sure. But because I am a second and third grade teacher, and I am a part of the Alaska Reads Act, like this is one of the reasons that I really, really wanted Sprig Learning to come to ASTE. Selfishly, I wanted to learn more. I just feel like, our state would like us to be multicultural and relevant and responsive, and but not always does our curriculum reflect that, right? But your platform is giving a solution to all of that, and I hear that people could maybe take home a moose, something like that.
Yeah, there's a number. I'll show Andale right here. This is one of our puppets. Super awesome. Great for the early years. The noses are actually haptic sensors, the nostrils, which allows a teacher to be hands-free. They could be scrolling on an iPad like a specific story. A lot of our programming is digital, so they can actually scroll on our app. For iPad, as well as or read the regular stories that they're using in their classroom. We also have some of these, for example, books, digital and print, that will be available too there. But we are raffling off a moose, and we're giving away a moose for the ASTE giveaway prize. So there'll be two moose.
It's moose.
Moose.
Listen, I know this for sure because I've actually taught this. It's just
Right.
moose.
Exactly. So there'll be two moose up for grabs, and so stop by our booth, fill out the moose raffle. You can win a moose to kind of take back with you, and also just hear more about we want to hear what's going on in your district, in your learning community, in your classroom. We want to hear, what challenges you're having in that early literacy space. How can we make those bridges to through those culturally relevant resources? Our goal and what we do at the heart of it is we co-design and co-create with Indigenous communities across North America. And so it's not us, it's the voice of the community that brings these tools to life and helps support students in the classroom and teachers, because that's the ultimate goal. We have some free trial opportunities as well with our tool Sprig Reading, which is a digital progress monitoring tool. Something that is really great. We align to tools like, for example, UFly, align to tools like UFly. So it makes things easy for teachers. And
Wow.
we're just excited to be there, to be able to support teachers. And, we are a new vendor. So come by, check out something new and something exciting, I think, that we can work on together.
All right, I'm sorry, my mouth is hanging open, but yes, like you fly. Yes, okay.
Yeah.
I will be at your session for sure, Mark. I'm serious. All right. Well, I thank you so much for this. Anthony, do you have anything to add before I put him back down?
No, just really excited to have you there, and it aligns so closely with the READS Act and what we're doing in the state to help support early literacy.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you back in just a few minutes, Mark. Thank you for sharing everything. Awesome.
Thanks so much. Nice chatting.
Okay, and now we have another new sponsor. I'm going to bring this young man up. John from Snorkl. How are you doing, and where are you coming in from the world? Oh no,
muted.
You're mute. Did I mute you? Oh no, no. Okay, now you're good. Now you're good.
Hear me now?
Yeah.
Great. Good to join you all. I'm coming in from Minneapolis today, so it's also very cold here as well.
Yeah. Are you okay? Well, I wish I would have asked you that before we went live. Yeah. Yeah, it's very cold where you are from. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Really excited to be part of the ASTE conference and get to talk to so many educators. I spent the last week here in visiting classrooms and talking to teachers and students, which was really fun.
Wow. And one of the things that when John Carippo first kind of put you on our radar, you were like, yes, let's snorkel in Alaska. So do you snorkel everywhere you go?
Oh, everywhere we go snorkeling. That's right. We have a lot of fun with this name and this theme, and we talk about diving into student thinking. And I sometimes get weird looks when I go to the airport and I'm carrying my snorkel and I'm flying to the middle of nowhere, Missouri, Nebraska, and they're wondering what I'm doing with my snorkel. But we have a lot of fun with it.
That's great.
So, actually, the cool thing about Snorkl is that if you go to any of the Edu Protocol sessions that we're having at ASTE, and I think we have 4 a day, and it's John Carippo and Jacob Carr, they are presenting, you will be able to find out about Snorkl at every single one of those sessions. So if you've never heard of Snorkl, which you probably have, I mean, you guys are catching on how long has Snorkl been a thing?
Yeah, we launched the product about, time is such a funny thing. 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. And I think really in the last 12 months have just been growing really rapidly.
Yeah.
It's really fun to get to share with people. And we found that it's resonated with a lot of folks just across the whole K-12 spectrum.
For sure. And I can tell you that if John Carippo latched on to Snorkl, then it has to be legit good. And the cool thing about it, he wanted me to remind everybody, is that there's already Edu protocols tied into Snorkl. So you don't have to
Yeah. So at its core, what Snorkl is a platform for students to record and explain their thinking on basically on a whiteboard experience. And so you can ask them how they're solving a math question. I'll just share my screen here real quick.
Yeah.
How they're solving a math question, how they're interpreting a reading passage, whatever the content is that you're working on in class. We have a library of pre-built content that you can choose from in Snorkl already, or teachers can upload and create their own. But basically, we give students a question on a whiteboard. They've got different tools to draw and show their thinking. So they've got a pen tool and highlighter tool. And when they're ready, they press that record button and they can talk and explain their thinking. So we get kids talking through their thinking process. In this case, maybe how we're adding these multi-digit numbers. But we could also do this with something like how we are interpreting a reading passage or even thinking about a science question or anything like that. Once students submit their work, the AI gives them immediate personalized feedback aligned with the teacher's goals on that work. And so every kid gets really unique feedback to them and their response. Just an example here on the right-hand side, it will celebrate what's going wrong. If there's a mistake, it will ask them questions about those mistakes. So students get that really immediate support. And then our relationship with Edu Protocols is just like you just mentioned, Melody, is that we've got a pre-built library of actually Edu Protocols activities in the Snorkl library as well. And so for all the Edu Protocols out there, they can find content that they are already using with Edu Protocols, but also beyond Edu Protocols, you can use Snorkl across the curriculum.
Yeah, John, are you an educator as well?
Yeah, I was a high school math teacher for 10 years. My co-founder, Jeff, was a 5th grade teacher, and we actually met teaching together many years ago.
So very cool.
Yeah,
gosh, I love this. It's like, so can I just ask you, like, how did you dream this up?
Great question. We during the 2020, when a lot of folks were doing distance learning at home, we saw some teachers asking their students to record their thinking at home. And we thought that was really interesting and worthwhile. I was actually teaching during that time, and I think it was hard to sometimes understand how my students were thinking through things and how they were getting their answers. And so we started with this vision of building a platform for students to record and explain their thinking. And then we, of course, realized that was immediately powerful, not just for distance learning, but also in classrooms. And so most of the time when Snorkl is being used right now, it's being used in the classroom, either as a practice tool or a formative assessment tool, but getting students talking, explaining, and then getting them immediate personalized feedback aligned to the teacher's goals.
When you were developing this, were you still in the classroom, and did you use it with the students that you were teaching?
Yeah, my students were the first students in the world to use Snorkl. And that was maybe about 3 years ago now. And so we've grown since then, and I've left the classroom since then to support Snorkl full time and build out this community. But it's been a lot of fun to get to share with people.
Yeah, I would just love to be like the fly on the wall to listen to what your students were saying. What can I just ask you, what was that moment like when you knew that you had created something that your own students were using to really grow their learning?
Yeah, I think there's something so cool and powerful about being in a classroom where you get to see and hear 30 kids talking about their thinking at once, and 30 kids, taking really deep ownership of their thinking. Kids we see get really invested in that AI feedback, and they want to get a good score. Snorkl scores all of their responses on a 0 through 4 scale as soon as after they submit it, so they get that immediate score and feedback. And we see kids get really excited about wanting that 4 and trying multiple times. And we've gotten some great feedback from teachers and students in that process as well. And so, in those early days, it was really just I was showing it to my students so I could get their feedback, and their voices were really powerful in helping us sort of figure out how we structure that and how we make that really meaningful and supportive for them. We want to make sure that even if students are getting the wrong answer, there's still right things happening oftentimes in student thinking that we can celebrate and validate. And for me, specifically in the math context, there's so many math tools where you either get all right or all wrong. And what I wanted my students to think about is math is not just about right or wrong. It's actually about the reasoning process. And so we can actually value that, celebrate that by collecting not just their answer, but their whole thinking and explanation too.
Yeah. Okay, I just want you to know that I will also be at least a couple of sessions, hopefully one of the math sessions that Edu Protocol does, because this is exactly what I am working with my 3rd graders and 2nd graders, but I have more 3rd graders and 2nd graders every day that this is why I love math, because there's so many different ways that you can arrive at your solution, but there's also the learning and the pride that you receive just going through the process, just getting started. So so I know I talk a lot, Anthony, so please interrupt if you want, but here's the thing. This is amazing. I can't believe that these tools exist.
Yeah, we're so lucky to have you come to the conference to share this tool. It immediately made me think about the Harvard Project Zero project of visible thinking.
Yep.
By what's his name, Ron Richard. That that process of metacognition and thinking about thinking, and how important that is to the learning process. And the fact that, we always say students should do it, but we didn't really have a tool with which students could do it. And like you filled in a space that some other tools in the past used to be able to accomplish, like Flipgrid.
Yep.
Rest in peace. That, those were really powerful tools. But this is really laser focused on that idea of documenting student learning for the sake of the student, not necessarily for the sake of the educator or test scores or anything like that. It's just the sake of the student processing their learning in a visual way. And that's really important. And I also love the fact that you most likely can utilize those videos to showcase to parents, to help parents understand how that learning process is going. Could be part of a portfolio that demonstrates growth. And oh my gosh, it's so incredible.
Yeah, students have a portfolio of their work. There's a teacher dashboard where you can see all your student work. The AI will actually analyze the entire class as a whole and roll up insights for the teacher. So it'll show you trends across your student learning. What are the things that students are mastering? Where are their gaps still in their understanding? And not just what their scores are, but like actually what are the conceptual misunderstandings or gaps in their understanding. So there's a lot in there.
That's awesome. I'm so glad. I'm going to bring Mark back up. Mark, what are you thinking?
This sounds fantastic. It's something I wish Snorkl was on. When I was a grade 5 teacher, would have been so good. Helping with bringing that math aspect to life for some of those students that are, they could see the progress at least, right? I think that's something that is really important for teachers, for students that are struggling with math, or if they're just loving math too. Like they can see a lot of those pieces as well. So something I would have loved to have.
Yeah.
Yeah. And okay, so who's taught 5th grade? And I've been I've done 5th grade for most of my years. No.
I have not, but my co-founder Jeff is a 5th grade teacher. Yeah.
I was like, wow, look at us. We're like 5th grade people. But just Mark and me. Okay, that's fine. M&M. That's good. No, I just want to say that number one, I am so glad that both of you guys are going to be your products. Anyway, John, you're going to come next year, I hope. Like physically be there, but Snorkl will definitely be at ASTE. But I'm just so glad that we are able to give this to our educators to learn about both of your platforms. The best part of EdTech for me, and this is something I always say, and I'm sure some people are tired of me saying it, but it's not just technology. Technology in itself to me means nothing. It's the ability to help students articulate what they're learning. It's the giving our students the power to share when, and at other times in their life they've never been confident enough to share about their learning. And I remember way before I did EdTech, because, I started teaching when we were carting around the big TV and the VCR still. Okay. And I still had like a projector, like, with the vis-a-vis stuff. That's when I started. So there was none of this, a couple of decades ago when I was doing my first years of teaching. And I remember having to wait until the end of the year for some of my students to feel comfortable enough to share what they were learning. And these kinds of platforms and educational technology cut through all of that, so students can start doing that when school starts. You don't have to wait a whole year to hear a student's voice. Mm-hmm. So for me, that is a win for all of us. And Alaskan educators and students deserve the best, and you guys are bringing the best. So I'm so grateful.
We are grateful to be part of it. Thanks.
Yes.
Same. Excited about our first experience at ASTE. It's gonna be a great time, and I can't wait to meet all the educators and just hear how we can support in the classroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Were you gonna say something, Anthony?
I was gonna say just make sure you bring your dancing shoes too.
Yes.
I will pack the dancing shoes. Yeah, sounds great.
You can wear whatever you want. Like to prom, people wear whatever. I mean, you could bring your snorkeling gear and go to prom if you wanted to. I'm just saying. Yeah, come as you are, dress up, whatever you feel like. Thank you so much. And I also want to give a shout out to a couple of sponsors that joined this week. SES Education and Samsung and Grand Canyon University. They just signed up this week to also sponsor. So thank you to those, especially Sean Taylor, for doing the work. We appreciate all of you. Does anybody have any last thoughts or ideas that they'd like to share before we say goodbye? Oh.
Looking forward to it. I didn't mention before, but the Snorkl website, I think, Melody, you dropped it there in the chat, and also people can sign up and create a free account there. So Snorkl.app. But we're really excited about it and grateful to be part of it again.
You know what? I'm glad you reminded me because I didn't show it when we were talking. I was so into what you were saying. But yes, go to snorkl.app and check out Snorkl. I know I am going to. Thank you guys again so much. Y'all, I think 19 days before we meet in person?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So until then, take care of yourself. Do a reset, whatever you have to do to keep your peace and make your community stronger. We appreciate all of you guys, and we'll see you again next week with EduMatch, the EduMatch AI panel. All right, bye guys.
Awesome, thank you. Stay safe and warm.